Welcome back to Season 2 of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we are so thrilled to be here with you. I'm Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul. We're kicking off the new season by spotlighting a true giant who didn't just shape music, he shaped the entire music business itself.
Without a doubt, we are talking about the original genius, Ray Charles. Man, he was a pioneer who understood his worth and changed the game for artists everywhere. And his episode is our blueprint for artist autonomy.
More than just a singer, he was a visionary businessman, demanding creative control and ownership when virtually no other artist, especially a black artist, dared to.
So true, Mello, so true. This was back in the day, and his genius was completely forged through this incredible amount of discipline.
Yeah, and remember, Max, he was shaped by two pivotal events that happened like early on in his life. First, the drowning of his brother when he was 6 years old. And he watched it happen.
Yeah, he must have felt so helpless.
Yeah, it just totally helpless. And then right after that, beginning to lose your sight as you turn 7 years old.
Yeah, just the light started going out.
Yeah, and it's like the world is going dark since you lost your brother.
Think about that, how young he was. 7 years old, that's a lot to pile on a kid.
And how much tough that must have been on his mom,
well,
too.
That's what I was going to say.
While grieving her son, she's also having to help the son who's now losing his sight to navigate the world.
Which is why he ended up at the school he did. And he was very fortunate. He was able to attend the St. Augustine School for the Deaf and the Blind. And during his 8 years there, man, Ray took advantage. He received a formal music education. They taught him how to read Braille music. And then he went about mastering the piano, the organ, the clarinet, the trumpet, and the saxophone. Man, he was bad. Mm-hmm. And that technical foundation, well, it was crucial.
Absolutely. He wasn't just performing. He was educated in music theory, arrangement, and composition.
And being a badass.
Exactly. And that technical mastery combined with his raw emotion is what allowed him to build the bridge. Get ready as we explore the music, the money moves, and the lasting impact of Ray Charles.
That's right. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into the sonic alchemy that created soul music. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We're happy to be back with you. And we'll be right back.
And we're back on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
You knew it was coming, right? I mean, it is season 2. What did you expect?
Yeah, indeed, Max, indeed. So, if you like this content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel.
Oh, we surely would appreciate it. We think you figured that out already from first season. But anyway, we remember there is a video version available on our YouTube page. So if you feel like watching instead of listening, you can.
Okay, Max, so let's get into it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ray Charles Robinson, known simply as Ray Charles, truly was a transformative figure in American music.
No doubt.
His journey, marked by innovation and resilience, led him to pioneer soul music, which is a profound blend of gospel fervor and blues earthiness that successfully crossed over into multiple genres.
But that didn't happen yet. First, he's still 7. Mm-hmm. And at 7, his mother has no idea what to do. She just lost her child. Yeah. And now her other son is going blind.
And that's when a relative of hers, it was actually an aunt, it was her aunt, which is Ray's great aunt.
I can only imagine what they were thinking to try to figure out how to help him.
Right, and so she recommended St. Augustine School for the Blind because he needed to learn how to navigate the world as a blind person.
And it turned out to be the best damn thing that ever happened to him. Or at least until he met Jerry Wexler.
Yeah, there he was at the school, and no one knew what would happen.
No one would have any idea what he was capable of. I don't even think he had any idea of what he was capable of. But losing his sight made a profound change in his life. And at this school, where he was there for 8 years, he received a formal education in music. He learned how to play Braille music. That's amazing. You know, he would play Braille chess on the road in the bus.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, there's pictures of him doing that. He used to do that all the time. He was a good chess player, apparently. But he mastered the piano, the organ, the clarinet, the trumpet, the sax.
Wow.
And the guy was, his technical foundation became incredible.
So now he's learned all this stuff, and he's got all this musical capability.
That's
he's
exactly
15
right.
years old.
And
what
so
do you do?
What did he do? Well, what does every musician do? He left school, and he started working as a traveling musician on the South Chitlin circuit, playing various styles, including country, western, jazz, and blues, just like every other player that tried to get somewhere in the day.
Yes, Max, this, as we know, is the proving grounds. So next for Ray was the move west.
Right? West do we go.
Exactly. Ray Charles wanted to move as far away as possible from his home in Florida to make a fresh start and find better opportunities as a musician, free from the difficulties he faced in the South.
I think he thought that if he went across the country, he wouldn't see those same difficulties. And he probably didn't see them because they weren't the same. The South was the South, and Jim Crow was definitely Jim Crow. And here are the key reasons why he really did choose that. Because he wanted the better gig, and he wanted to put his own band together. And so he found it difficult to survive as a musician in Florida. But out there in Seattle, he was able to make a name for himself in a larger market.
He was an orphaned, poor, and a blind teenager, and he felt the need to completely escape his previous life and environment. He reportedly told his friend guitarist Gussie McGee that he wanted to move to the city in the continental United States that was the farthest from Florida.
Sounds like he's trying to get away from his parents.
Exactly. Ray Charles felt intimidated by the size of the biggest northern music hubs like New York and Chicago.
Yeah, only for a little while, though.
But Seattle, while a major city, offered a thriving yet perhaps less overwhelming jazz scene at the time.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. And of course, here is where he met one of the most pivotal people in his beginning jazz life, trumpeter Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones.
Our boy Q.
And they were both teenagers at the time, but they would end up both at the top of their game.
Lifelong friends forever.
Yeah. Okay, Max, but back to Florida and Gussie.
According to his autobiography, Gussie literally laid a ruler across the map from Florida, and it took it right to Seattle. And he's like, "There's no farther place that we can go." And Ray was like, "Okay, well, then that's where we're going."
Yeah.
And it's funny, everybody's idea of Ray Charles is the guy with sunglasses. But when he was 18, he was playing with Gussie in this McSun trio, and they had an artist. Gussie had the artist retouch their publicity photos, and he painted sunglasses over Ray's sightless eyes. And Ray Charles, instead of hating it, instead of being mad about it, he's like, "I like that." And that became the start. And it started this lifelong thing for other sightless musicians. And that is the story of Ray's Shades. How cool is that?
And sunglasses became like the trademark for any blind musician of any genre.
It was a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
It's such a weird signature to have, though.
Talk about your Ray-Bans.
Oh, yes, I knew you were going to say that.
So in 19...
But I'm going to get a grim shot for you, I promise.
But in 1948, though, seeking a better opportunity as far away as possible, he moved to Seattle.
Yeah, if he didn't move to Seattle, he'd have fell in the water if he kept going straight. Sorry.
Anyway, while he was in Seattle, he formed a jazz blues trio, and in 1949, he recorded his first national hit called Confession Blues, which reached number 2 on the Billboard R&B chart.
That's pretty damn badass, number 2.
Yeah.
And then Ray Charles's career took off. He signed with Atlantic Records, and this period was pivotal.
Yeah, Atlantic signed him in 52 when they bought his contract out. And
that was a great deal.
Ahmet Ertegun, who was the head of the label, signed him and produced his first 2 records. But those records didn't do well because he was still trying to sound like Charles Brown and Nat King Cole.
That's correct.
But then in comes our boy, Jerry Wexler,
who wasn't at Atlantic at the time. So Ahmet dealt with him. And then Jerry came in and said,
be yourself, basically.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
He said the greatest thing he ever did was let Ray Charles be Ray. And he also said, embrace your gospel roots and your raw vocal energy. And boy,
the result was 1953, his first big hit, Mess Around.
A huge song and a huge breakthrough for Ray Charles.
Really big.
And
of course,
guided
by Jerry Wexler.
Exactly. And Tommy Dowd.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that stuff. I'm sorry. So now he began fusing the emotional intensity of gospel music with secular R&B lyrics and effectively inventing what would later be called soul music.
Ray Charles was the first to really blend gospel's fire, blues's grit, and jazz's intellect into one unstoppable groove. It wasn't just mixing genres, or as we like to refer to it, cross-pollination. It was a complete alchemy.
No accident, just brilliance. That's what Ray Charles was, brilliant. He took the call and response of the church, that fundamental human interaction in music. He dropped it on top of a blues shuffle, that raw, earthy rhythm, and then he threw in those sophisticated jazz voicing. And bam, what do we got? Pure soul.
It truly was,
wow.
Max. And the defining moment was in 1954's I Got a Woman.
Right.
Ray took a gospel hymn, It Must Be Jesus, and repurposed the arrangement for a song about earthly desire. Now, that was controversial, even scandalous for the time, but it proved his concept worked, and even though this blend drew criticism from some who found it sacrilegious, it cemented Charles's innovative sound.
Exactly, Mel. I Got a Woman is widely considered a foundational soul record. Its distinctive raspy vocals and gospel-like structure. Ray made spiritual intensity commercial. I mean, when you hear that track, Man, that Sunday morning fervor turned into Friday night passion. He showed every artist that you could harness the sacred emotional energy and put it into secular art.
What's wild, Max, is that the radio couldn't box it in.
No, they could not.
Black stations, white stations, they all had to play it.
Damn straight.
He made the crossover without changing who he was, without compromising his roots or his sound. That's the sheer power of authenticity. He wasn't crossing over, he was the bridge.
And a mighty bridge he was, Mello. He kicked down doors musically and culturally. And by 1957, Ray had permanently added a gospel-style female backup quartet, the Raylettes, to his band. And this enhanced that call and response element that really defined his sound. His Raylettes arrangements, well, they were a core part of this. Those tight gospel-infused harmonies and the call and response, it just added another layer of intensity. It was all so meticulously crafted, yet felt so organic and raw.
And that emotional honesty in his voice, Max, well, it's just unparalleled.
It was.
You believe every single word, whether it's joy, pain, or defiance. He laid bare the human experience in a way that was both universal and deeply personal. That's the essence of soul that he defined.
Which led to Ray's classic recording. I mean, the dynamic improvised What I Say in 1959 was his first million-selling single, solidifying his massive crossover appeal. Massive!
That's still my favorite Ray Charles record, actually.
Yeah, it is a great record. Ray was a true innovator, Mello. He even kicked country's ass, treating it to a masterpiece. In 1962, he released the revolutionary album Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music, which included his soulful style to a new audience. The album, featuring hits like I Can't Stop Loving You, well, it topped the Billboard album chart, played a major role in integrating American popular music. This is the role that Ray Charles played. He showed artists that they could be commercially successful without diluting their artistic vision. I love it.
And speaking about diluting vision, we're going to step away for a quick break. And when we return, we'll get into the power move that secured his genius.
Yes, we sure will. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Keep it locked here. Hey, we are back here on Architects of Soul talking Ray Charles. All right, let's get into the business side of things, Mello, because this is just as crucial to his legacy as the music itself.
Now, let's set the scene, Max. The year is 1959.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Ray Charles makes a power move and signs with a groundbreaking contract that gave him artistic control over his masters. An unprecedented achievement for a black artist at a major label. I mean, what a power move.
It is a huge power move, and this move yielded massive pop success with hits like Georgia on My Mind in 1960, which was his first number one pop hit. And then I Love Hit the Road Jack, and that was 1961. And of course, we talked about in 62, he released a country record, which had I Can't Stop Loving You, which is an absolutely amazing song. And it topped the Billboard album chart and played a major role in integrating American popular music. And I think that's the big point, is that Ray Charles integrated American popular music with black music.
Yes, an unreal journey. But I don't want to skip over the mic drop moment.
Right, of course not.
Because this detail that separates him from so many artists of that era, his knowledge of his worth.
Right? It's a big statement.
Yeah, he demanded and ultimately secured ownership of his masters and full creative control. Now let that sink in for a second.
Pause right there. That wasn't just bold. That was unheard of, especially for a black artist navigating the treacherous, exploitative landscape of the music industry during the Jim Crow era. Labels back then owned you body and soul.
Man, Ray Charles looked at that system, which had exploited so many great black artists, and said, nah, I'm calling the shots.
That's right.
He walked into that boardroom blind, yes, but business sharp, and that contract was revolutionary. He bet on himself and won.
He sure did. And owning those masters, that wasn't just a symbolic victory. That meant Ray kept getting paid on his terms, for his work, for the long haul. Oh, I love that. That generational wealth and legacy rights being built into one fell swoop. He secured his family's future and his artistic legacy. That is badass.
Yeah, exactly. And that creative control aspect was equally vital. Freedom allowed him to create that truly groundbreaking music we still celebrate today.
Yeah, like the country record.
Exactly. A genre that no one expected him to tackle. The label couldn't stop him from exploring.
It's amazing. It speaks volumes about about his understanding of the industry and his own value. He saw his music not just as art, but also as a commercial asset, and that he deserved to control it. He set a new standard for artist empowerment. Really a badass. I mean, I love that word.
Yeah, exactly. It's a powerful reminder.
It's true.
It's a powerful reminder for every artist today about the importance of understanding their rights and advocating for themselves. Ray Charles in 1959.
Hear that? 1959.
59 now. Laid down a marker that's still relevant and inspiring. Artistic brilliance and business acumen can and should go hand in hand.
Okay, so before we go to a break, we just want to bring some perspective to these architects that we covered last season and that we're going to cover this season.
Right, Soul Fam? So let's look at it this way. Today, these architects we have spent the season discussing and digging into have history on their side, so we can see them and what they've accomplished.
That's right, Mello. But if you look at today and the plethora of people trying to break into the public eye and be seen, well, you might not know who today's architects are because they're not visible yet. No history. So they were all really resilient and truly dynamic, are the architects that we're talking about. Each one was able to secure their rights and the other things that their artist peers were not able to do, which meant that they are put on a pedestal, and which is why we can see them today in history's eyes.
Oh, yes, especially in black music and especially during Jim Crow. So if we didn't have history to look at these things, you might not know these people's names, their incredible struggles to make that path happen, and why not, you ask? Well, the answer is because there were so many people back then trying to make it too, along with no internet, no streaming playlists.
That's right, Mello, a worldwide web of nothing, because it didn't exist as we know it, because it was invented for war. Not that that doesn't figure, but and it has nothing to do with it, but I digress. But back on point, if you wanted people to know who you were and buy your music or listen to you on the radio, because radio was king at the time.
So, Max, that was...
If you could get on the air.
If you couldn't, well, you had to get on a bus and go on the road to another state or town.
Oh, yeah, Mello. Another place after place after place, so people can find out who you were. We bring this to your attention because of the similarity that we see between all these greats would be seriously diluted. But if we throw the rest of the people out who were there trying to build something at the same time, then you see it in a better way to see, because these people got used and their talent got thrown away and they got nothing. But the architects made something happen with who they were because they were strong.
So it's just some perspective, Max, on how amazing these architects were and what they accomplished and how they can still apply to today's multi-streamed environment.
Well, a little perspective never hurts anybody, and it sure teaches us what we need to see to get the lessons on the moves that we should make and the moves we shouldn't. Right now, we're going to make a move by taking a short break.
You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and don't go anywhere.
Thanks for tuning in to Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you.
And we're back for segment 4 of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. So, okay, Max, let's fast forward now, and you start to see the seeds that Ray planted blossoming in significant ways. Think about Prince, fiercely battling his label for ownership of his masters.
Yeah, that was a big fight.
Yeah, I remember that whole Warner Brothers slave on his cheek.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. That fight, that very concept of an artist demanding control, well, that has Ray's DNA in it.
Yeah, but just not the sign painted on his cheek. Absolutely, Mello. Look at Jay-Z's Building a Rockefeller. His famous line, "I'm a businessman, not a businessman." Well, that embodies the same spirit Ray operated in. It's about understanding your worth, building your own empire, and controlling your destiny.
And even Taylor Swift, I know that seems like a reach, but stick with me.
It's a big one.
Taylor Swift re-recording her entire catalog, that was an unprecedented move.
Was really unbelievable.
Taking back control of her artistic legacy. I mean, that was a badass move for Taylor.
It was brilliant. It really was.
Ray's contract, that insistence on owning his masters, made that kind of bold action even conceivable decades later.
Truly, it's a direct line. Ray's victory wasn't just for him. It subtly shifted the landscape, making labels at least somewhat more aware that artists with leverage could and would demand more equitable terms, and damn right they should. Right? He normalized the idea that an artist's creative work has inherent and lasting value that they deserve to control, and I am 100% in agreement with that.
Me too. Yeah, he fundamentally challenged the old exploitative model model where artists were often treated as disposable commodities. He showed us that creative control and business control aren't separate entities. You can be the soul, the artistic heart, and the CEO, the strategic mind, all at once.
Every piece of that. And the irony is that Ray did it all really quietly. No grandstanding, just shrewd negotiation and a firm understanding of his own worth. He set a standard through action.
It's a powerful reminder for artists today about the importance of understanding their rights and advocating for themselves.
Yeah, Ray was big about advocating for himself.
Yeah, that shift in mindset trickles down to independent artists as well.
It sure does. And let me tell you something about the guy that Ray Charles was. He had the most tremendous ear of any musician I've ever come into contact with. So Ray Charles is at the Apollo. We were doing 2 shows with B.B. King and Ray Charles. Mm-hmm. And we're rehearsing, and it's in the afternoon. And I ask him, I'm doing monitors that day. So I ask Ray what he wants. And he says, I just want one wedge right in front of me here. And I say, okay, you want the band in it? And he's like, no, I just want some piano and some vocal. I'm like, okay, how are you going to hear the band? Because he had a whole big band with him, right? So how are you going to hear that? Don't you worry about that. Okay, I don't worry about that. Go back, do my job. So we're in the middle of the rehearsal, and he's like, I don't know, maybe 16 bars, 18 bars in, and one of the horn players makes a mistake. And Ray just stops the whole band down and calls that guy out by asking him why he missed the note on the 3rd bar, the 2nd. I mean, he knew exactly where it was. He knew why it was flat.
He knew which instrument, which player, which
exactly who it was. He called him right out. And so that's the kind of guy that Ray Charles was. He was a strong, strong man who believed in what he did. Mm-hmm. And just a quick reminder, if you really like this content, and we hope you do, please give us a like and a subscribe to our channel. And remember, there's a video version of this available on our YouTube page if you feel like watching instead of listening. All right, Soul Fam. So one more segment to go, and we'll wrap this puppy up. But first, we're going to take a short break. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
We're putting the wraps on Ray Charles, so stay with us.
Hey, and you're back with us on Architects of Soul for our last segment on the genius that was Ray Charles. So one last story, Mello. It's 1961, and Ray Charles is scheduled to play a show at the Bell Auditorium in Augusta, Georgia. While preparing for this gig, Ray learns that the black attendees, they would be segregated and forced to sit in the balcony while the main floor reserved for white patrons. And no, that didn't sit well with Ray at all. No, sir.
Oh, no, not Ray.
Oh, no.
And so Ray Charles, a black man, obviously, and a native Georgian, refused to perform. He just went and canceled the concert immediately.
And let me tell you something. That was Ray, right? So when I talk about him came to the Apollo, so we were supposed to tape that for New Jersey Public TV, and Ray had some sort of a financial issue with the Apollo and with NJTV, and B.B. King didn't say a word. He did his performance, cameras on, we did everything. Ray Charles said, I'm not performing until you turn those cameras to the wall, make sure they're off, and if any of my people see them even turn slightly back towards us, we're going to stop and leave. But he played the performance, but we couldn't record it. That's the guy Ray Charles was. If he felt he was being taken advantage of, he was not having it.
He was not having it.
No. And after seeing what he did when he shut down the show at the Apollo, I know that's exactly what he did in Georgia. But it was 1960s, in the early 60s, and Jim Crow, it was there. And so, of course, the concert promoter, he sued Ray for breach of contract. And in 62, the lovely court in Fulton County, Georgia, that couldn't find Donald Trump guilty, they fined him $757, which was a lot of money back then.
And do you think that would be all that would happen if he was white?
No, please, that's it. They spanked him. They wouldn't even charge him.
Exactly, but of course Ray was not black.
No,
he was not white.
Ray was not white.
He was black. And as a consequence of the refusal and resulting lawsuit, the state of Georgia effectively banned Ray Charles from performing within the state of Georgia for a period of time.
Right, a long period of time.
Yeah, they penalized him for this act of defiance against the Jim Crow laws for, 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. They did indeed do this, and then Georgia got their act together. So the ban, in 1979, they lifted the ban. And just so happens, which I don't believe in coincidence, that's the same year that Georgia on My Mind was designated as the official state song of Georgia. So Ray got some payback.
Mm-hmm. So next time Georgia on My Mind or any of these timeless Ray Charles tracks hit your speakers, just take a moment to appreciate the depth of his artistry, but also know that you're hearing a man who owned his sound and his destiny.
Badass.
And fought for the right.
Damn straight he did.
Fought for the right to be his own man, even through the highly segregated times he was trying to succeed in. Now that's an architect of soul, isn't it, Max?
Surely is, Mello. It surely is. And to every young artist listening, learn your scales, hone your craft, but also learn your contracts. Understand the business side of things. Ray Charles mastered both worlds. He was a sonic innovator and a savvy businessman. And that powerful combination is what truly allowed him to change the game for generations to come, and he sure did.
Yeah, that's right. His story is a powerful testament to the fact that artistic integrity and business acumen don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can and perhaps should go hand in hand.
So that's it for this first episode of our second season, diving deep into the groundbreaking sound and the equally revolutionary business mind of the one and only Ray Charles. We truly hope you've gained a new appreciation for his multifaceted genius.
And get ready, because next time we're turning our attention to the incredible talent that was and still is Stevie Wonder.
Oh, if you really love me.
We're going to delve into his tremendous career, his humanity, his depth, and his incredible contributions to all music.
And as always, we just want to close with our final thought and our hope for all of us, our art, our craft, and our creation.
Keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.